Welcome back, guys. So Hugo Broos and his boys have now arrived in your camp ahead of the game against the Super Eagles of Nigeria tomorrow evening after a series of delays, that they reportedly made known through their official social media handle. They actually said that they spent more than 18 hours, of waiting time, first in the airport in South Africa, where they were delayed for several hours, and then later on, when they got into Nigeria, they were reportedly also delayed in the Port Harcourt airport before they finally got to Uyo. But thankfully, they've now arrived in Uyo, and the exact time of their arrival was around 10:48 a.m. this morning, and they've now been provided with every assistance that they would need from the protocol officer of their embassy in Nigeria. The team will now seek to settle down properly in their hotel rooms and rest, and then come out again later in the evening around 8 p.m. to train, for the first time in Nigeria and the floodlight, under the floodlight rather. So the match is going to be played tomorrow by 8 p.m. Nigerian time, and while the South African team have already arrived and are settling in Nigeria, having a plan to actually start their training this evening, Nigerian Super Eagles also are doing everything that they can in their camp. The last video I talked about, the preparations for today and how they want to actually train twice today. With the plan still intact, there have been a number of things that have transpired within the camp, and one of such things is the fact that Coach Finidi and his technical crew, obviously organized a guard of honor for the players in camp that actually won something with their club side, whether it's league, whether it's cup, or whether it's, any trophy at all. And that in this our squad, we obviously have a lot of players who won something over this season that just finished. The likes of Lukman, Boniface, Nathan Teller, but he's not in camp, Ndidi, Ihanacho, and Onyedika as well. So these guys that won something were given a guard of honor by Coach Finidi, his assistants, coaches, and the other players, to actually celebrate these guys and encourage them, as a way of spurring them to do bigger things, in the future. Hopefully starting with the game against South Africa tomorrow evening. And one man has now spoken for the first time after he arrived in camp. He was one of the 5 guys that were conveyed by a private jet organized by the NFF during the time that they were stranded in the Lagos airport. And I'm talking of no other one than the defensive powerhouse, Bassey. He has now expressed his frustration, with the fact that the team had to deal with the issue of late coming because of, some circumstances that may or may not really be under their control. As he talks about the fact that sometimes representing the country can be a bit hard or a bit trying because there's not enough time for them to actually get to bond. It's usually like 10 days or less than a week sometimes that countries, national teams are allowed to actually go play together. But he's saying that, this is not taking away anything from Nigerian Super Eagles ahead of their game against South Africa, because, the team already knows themselves that they've played together for a really long time, not just with Finidi, but across, other coaches like Busero. And then now it's Finidi who's in charge, and he knows that, this team is a team that doesn't need much time to click. Bassey maintains that it's not going to be hard for Coach Finidi because he already knows the boys across two managerial spell through Busero's period, where he spent several months understanding and learning boys, and now it's his time as a head coach that he knows these guys, so it's not going to be something difficult for him to work with. And of course for the guys as well, they've played together for several months and they've just naturally understood themselves, so it's not going to be a problem against South Africa. That's what Bassey has said. Bassey is a player who's so important for the Nigerian team and is such an integral part of the team, and he's held in high esteem by not only the coach but also his players. In fact, the likes of Boniface thinks that Bassey is the strongest man in the team. When he was asked about who he thinks is the strongest and the fastest, Boniface actually said that the strongest for him is Bassey, and then the fastest is probably Lukman. Not just Boniface alone, but Murphy also thinks that Bassey is probably the strongest player in the team. But he also thinks that Paul Onuachu is maybe the second strongest player in the team. The stage is almost set, and these two teams are well in position to actually lock horns together tomorrow evening. And of course, South Africa already arrived, Nigeria arrived, and they are going to have one final dance in training today before that game tomorrow in full squad. No excuses about who's not around and who's stranded or anything like that. So it's a full squad for trainings for Nigerian Super Eagles and of course the South African team. But away from the camping situation, there's also some updates coming out from the likes of Nigerian Flamingos. And the report is that right now they are off to Monrovia, Liberia, ahead of that their first leg clash against Liberia in their World Cup qualifiers games for under 17 category. And I talked about that, in the last video, that we have a date with them, after which they are going to come home to Nigeria to play the return leg. This is the fourth and final round of the qualifying games for under 17 category. If we beat them in this category, in this round, we are definitely booking a ticket for ourselves, for the World Cup for the under 17 category. We wish them a safe trip as they travel to Monrovia, Liberia ahead of that game. But moving on, guys, let me let you know that there's still an update regarding our Nigerian Super Falconets. That's the under 20 national team of Nigeria. And of course, we obviously qualified for the World Cup, for the FIFA World Cup under 20 category. It's going to be played later this year from August 31st to September 22nd. And the group that we will be playing in has already been drafted out by FIFA. And the report is that we're going to lock ons with our eternal rivals, Germany. And then we have Venezuela also in the group, and Korea Republic. So that's the group Nigeria finds themselves in. It's the Group D, and it's a very, very tricky group. We have a history with the German team at the under 20 level. We've lost a couple of finals against them. One of the most excruciating one was the one in 2014 when Asisa Tosewala won the player of the tournament. We actually lost in the finals against Germany. 1-0 was that one. It was very painful. And then back in 2010, we also lost in the finals against Germany in this under 20 category. So it's definitely going to be a chance for we to pay back, get one on Germany. But it's always going to be a difficult match, not only against Germany, but also against the other teams in the group. But for the last update, let me let you know that Victor Boniface has obviously showed that he has such a big heart. He is such a very kind person by reaching out to an elderly carpenter man. Boniface gifted a sum of 1.5 million naira to a man whose post was viral on social media. When he saw it, he felt pity for the man because of the man's story. Apparently, the man, came to work for someone else at his place, and the person that he came to work for saw him and took pity on him, took his picture, and then added a caption to it. So, and then uploaded it on social media. When Boniface saw it, he was touched by the man's story and decided to help out. He actually sent 2 million naira, but for the poster, he told him to take 500,000, and the carpenter man, should take 1.5 million naira. Again, this shows how big-hearted Boniface is. It's not easy for someone to reach out to someone that needs help. So every time that this good deeds comes up, it's always good for we to celebrate these people. That's the video, guys. Thanks for watching this one. Don't forget to like and share the video. React to any of the stories that you like. Take care of yourselves. More updates coming out from the camp of Nigerian Super Eagles, so make sure you stay tuned to the channel.